Disclaimer, look at this. Not even disclaimer, look at this little Christmas tree I bought. It was like $1 something at this cute little store I found in the mall. Oh my gosh, the freaking audio messed up. I literally just finished filming the whole video and I watched the intro back and the audio cut out in the middle. But my registration stickers finally came in. Oh my gosh, today I tried to make him do the Charleston, or if y'all know that one artist, her name's Aurora. I don't consider myself an avid Aurora fan. I love her, she's cool, but she also does kind of like a Charleston style dance. You can kind of it kind of looks like it. I'm pretty convinced. Hi, hello. So, in today's pick a card reading, I was thinking about it all day yesterday and all this morning, and I was like, I'm kind of thinking about doing December predictions. And then I was like, I feel like everyone's done December predictions, I feel like there's plenty of those videos floating around and you can watch them. And I feel like there's not enough readings right now that are like, what good things are coming to you, like generalize it. And so today in Pick a Cards reading, I wanted to do like, what good things are you like manifesting? What good things are coming towards you? Like what's the good news? Because I feel like in my personal experience, I always feel like when I watch tarot readings and like, of course, tarot is great for, inner healing and what can you do better and things like that, things like that, just kind of that theme. And I find that sometimes it kind of gets exhausting and sometimes like, I don't know how to describe it, like discouraging, at least for me, because it kind of gives me this vibe of like, when you're in school and instead of being endorsed for what you're doing correct, you're kind of picked apart for what you're doing wrong. And so it's just like, it be making me feel like I still have so much work to do on myself. But honestly, I watched another reading and it was like, the work never ends, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna do what's good coming next. What is the next best thing? Because I feel like it's just exciting to hear about. I feel like it's exciting to listen to, like, oh, what good things are coming next. I'm like, hey, yo, I can look forward to something. And it's like, obviously, maybe not exactly what you were expecting comes through, like what the reading says. Maybe that's not exactly what happens, but some kind of version of that if it were to resonate. And it's just like, you know what? Like, a victory is still a victory. Yeah, I wanted to do that. And I don't have anything to differentiate the piles today because I didn't know what I would put. So we have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. I have actually had these two oracle decks that you see here for a while now. I just like never use them. So today I'm using them. But yeah, if you already picked your pile, disclaimer, I'm going to be sipping coffee throughout this whole thing because I love caffeine and I just want to be transparent about that. But yeah, if you already picked your pile, then, go for it. If you want to sit and listen to me ramble for an extra minute or two, hi. Y'all, it's crazy because my manifestation technique is I write sticky notes. And I write these sticky notes and it'll be like, this will come upon me, or I am this. And more often than not, they always come true. And if I have like a grain of salt's worth of doubt in that sticky note, it will not happen. Like I have to feel it down, like deep down in my like stomach or something, in my soul. And it will happen. So I had wrote this sticky note and said, my car registration stickers are here. And the other day, I was just sitting at my desk. This is my desk. And I was like, And then I look to my right and I see the sticky note. I'm like, oh, my registration stickers are here. And I was like, let me go check the mail. And sure enough, they were here. I took off my license plate, cleaned it off, I put it on. You already knew it. Next time I go out, I'm going to make fun of everyone that doesn't have their registration stickers because I was embarrassed and I want to be a hypocrite. Anyways, I have a Virgo midheaven, so hi. And also, y'all, I feel like... Oh, also, thank you all for the support. I can't believe we're at 500 subscribers. That's crazy. You know how many people that is? If you take 500 people and put them in a room, that's a lot of people. I was just so grateful, and I don't know, I love doing readings. Oh my gosh. I love collecting decks and then like doing readings with them. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just like sitting at the shelf and be like, what decks am I gonna use today? That's like one of my favorite things. Anyways, let's get right into the reading. Let's see what good things are coming for you. Hello, pile one. If you chose pile one, this pile, this is gonna be your reading for what good things are coming towards you. So for this oracle deck, we have Man Holding a Heart. And then for these little cards, we have Dark Man. Dealings a relationship with a man with dark complexion or hair. Wall. Misunderstanding. Pineapple. Reconciliation. I'm going to kind of put the rest up here so it doesn't like get in the way. Flute. Disappointment in a friend or lover. An angel, spiritual guidance, protection from harm. Okay, so when I was pulling these cards, obviously I felt the same way as y'all probably feel of like, whoa, what is going on here? But I got a lot of different ideas and messages, and the main one was that I feel like pile one, if in the event you are in conflict, especially with a man, I feel like those things will get resolved, especially if it's like a romantic like figure in your life. So if it's like your boyfriend or like, I don't know, something like you have a friend that has a boyfriend, but there's a romantic like masculine energy in your life that will kind of, I feel like if you have a conflict with this person or if there is conflict surrounding this person, I feel like that will get fixed. And also, to be completely transparent with you, I feel like perhaps a romantic interest could come into your life. You know what I mean? We have plenty of cards here that kind of signify a man coming towards you romantically. You know, literally a man holding a heart. But I also feel like it doesn't even have to be romantic. I feel like there could be good news coming to you via a masculine energy. Because obviously, although it is a man holding a heart, it doesn't necessarily have to be an actual man. You know, it could be a woman that radiates masculine energy, or it doesn't matter, just someone who radiates masculine energy. Okay. Whew. Okay, that was, I don't know why I took. Anyways, so I also feel like with this wall card and this pineapple card, it just kind of gives me this vibe that I feel like your life has been, up until this point, very confusing, very disorienting. My favorite thing to say is smoke and mirrors. You'll hear me say that on my channel until the end of time. I love saying smoke and mirrors. I just be feeling so bougie when I say it. I'm like, smoke and mirrors. But yeah, in this case, I really do feel like pile one, the best news and the best things that are coming towards you is that regardless of the conflict that may have happened leading up until this point, you are protected, and moving forward, it'll kind of all just kind of get resolved. And I feel like with this disappointment in a friend or lover card, I really do feel like, and the wall card, I feel like these cards like kind of tell the story of what has happened leading up to this point. And honestly, this is why I wanted to do this reading, because I was like, I feel like people are kind of going through it right now, but everyone's just kind of like saying, what can we do better? And it's just like, dang girl, like, I'm doing the best that I can. I just want some good news. But I also feel like with this angel card, it's just like, you are protected, pile one. You know, I feel like the protection itself is a part of the good news. And I also almost wonder if this protection will be provided by said man, you know? And perhaps you have like, if you are in a relationship, I feel like your lover could be like the protective type, or someone who kind of like helps you out in the situation. Or like I said, whoever this masculine energy may be, they may just help you or protect you, if you will. And not like in a traditional like, oh, damsel in distress type of way, but like they could just lend you a hand, or they could give you their opinion or something like that. Not that their opinion is solicited, pile one. Once again, I want to make it very clear that like you don't need anyone to like protect you. I feel like you are independent as is, or like you don't need that, you know. But it's just like is kind of like this quality of life type of situation, in the sense that moving forward, good things are going to come to you, in the sense that a lot of the burdens that you've been dealing with, especially regarding this, like this misunderstanding card, I feel like this could deal with like a family. With the Dark Man card, I almost wonder if this could be like a father figure, or kind of like someone who radiates fatherly energy. But a lot of the misunderstandings and a lot of the disappointments you may have dealt with up until this point will be kind of alleviated, resolved. So it's like, I feel like your good news comes in the sense that a lot of the burdens you've been dealing with will kind of get loosened up, and you'll be protected from them and kind of relieved of them. And I feel like that kind of feels backhanded, because it's the sense of like, you aren't necessarily getting a good thing that adds to your life, but rather you'll have negative things taken away from you. But honestly, Pile 1, I do feel like these burdens kind of have to be alleviated in order for other good things to come towards you. And what I mean by that, let me provide context. So it's like, good things are still a weight to carry. Good things are still something that takes time and energy. And I feel like up until this point, you've dealt with so much BS that it's like, it would be really hard to fully enjoy a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It would be really hard for you to be like, okay, for example, you only have 5 minutes, but you've been presented a delicious dinner. But it's like, you can't really enjoy this dinner to the fullest if you only have 5 minutes. And I'm talking like a big plate, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking like a Thanksgiving plate. And by the way, if you're watching this on Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. And, you know, it's like, you don't have enough time to enjoy this feast. So that's kind of the vibe that I want to present to you, is that like, it would be hard for you to enjoy a very good thing right now when your plate is already full of other things and you don't have the capacity to fully enjoy it. So I feel like the relief of this weight being lifted off of you that regards these misunderstandings and disappointments, you know, tied to people in your life, I feel like that relief alone would be an amazing thing for you. And I feel like that's what's going to allow you to make so much more room in your psyche to actually want better things, you know. And not saying that you don't want better things or anything, but, you know, you'll have more of a capacity to desire them. And I feel like this is really self-explanatory. I feel like these cards are really straightforward. Like, you know, I feel like they're just very like, this is what's happening, like with a period, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, is there more? And they're like, no. But yeah, let's get into the tarot. I'm using the Midnight City Tarot. I need to get better about putting the decks that I use in the description box. But I'm going to do the same format that I always do, you know, pull one card. I'm a Taurus moon. I love routine. Until I find a better method, I'm not changing it. Period. I also just don't react very well to change, you guys. I love change, and I think that it's very necessary. But I feel like there are times where I'm just like, dang, I feel like before what was changed was just fine the way it was. We all changed it anyways, so thank you. Anyways, very excited to see what comes out in the tarot for you, actually. Because I feel like this could be interpreted a bunch of different ways, but that's kind of like what I felt called to mention. Anyways, what good things are coming for pile 1? What good things are coming for pile 1? Alright. Put this here. So first of all, we have Page of Coins. Oh, no, I don't want to cover up the card. So with the Page of Coins, I do feel like this kind of... Okay, so here's my thought process. So when I think of Page of Coins, I think of a more childlike desire, or a more innocent, underdeveloped desire for something, especially materialistically. And I feel like pile 1, with a lot of these burdens being lifted off of you, I feel like you'll have an opportunity to kind of go after things that you've been wanting to do for a while now. And I feel like this could translate into literally anything. Like, I just heard you wanted to start a new hobby, but you bought all the supplies for it, but you haven't gotten around to it. You'll finally be able to start it, you know? I feel like with this Page of Coins, it's kind of giving this air of simple pleasures, and I feel like it'll the good things coming towards you are in the sense that you'll have more of an attention span to enjoy the things that are in your life. You know, I feel like you'll have more of the capacity to enjoy the good things themselves, you know, and the simple pleasures, and kind of do things that you want to do. I also feel like maybe this could come in the form of a job, or like applying to a job, or a job opening up, because it is the coins, which is the Pentacles suit, and that always deals with like finances, career, work, you know, things like that. So whatever the case may be, it could come in the shape of that, or it could just come in like the opportunity to start something, or actually think about something else, you know. I feel like there's just something that you've been wanting to try that kind of deals with the 3D realm, and you haven't been able to because you've had so much on your plate. But now I feel like you'll have the capacity to do so, the room to do so. So that's really exciting. You know, like, I feel like for me, coming back to the simple pleasures is always something that's great for me, you know. I feel like for a really long time now, all I wanted to do was just like sit down and watch movies, or like read a book or something like that, you know, get on my phone, be an iPad baby. But I couldn't do those things because I was so busy. And I've been able to do those things now, you know. I've been able to be an iPad baby, read a book, and watch a movie. And I feel like with the Page of Coins, it could also just come in the form of literal time, and I feel like you will just have more time to do things that you want to do, which is really exciting. And maybe with this man holding a heart card, and it's like this dark man card, maybe there's a masculine energy in your life that you've wanted to spend more time with, or someone that you have been wanting to make plans with, or something, or just talk to, maybe reconcile with. And I feel like maybe you want to, like, maybe it'll come in the form of more time to tend to that situation, or talk to them, spend time with them, you know. If it is a romantic interest, you could go on a date with them, or y'all can make plans, just, you know, something like that. But I feel like with this Page of Coins and like all of these symbols of like a man, it definitely seems as if though you'll finally be able to spend time with somebody, or kind of loosen things up, kind of clear things up. And I feel like with the Angel card, it'll be very easy to do. I feel like it'll be like clockwork, honestly. It really does seem as though a major good theme in your life moving forward is that things will happen like clockwork, and things will go so smoothly. Sorry, I was sipping my coffee. But I feel like a lot of good things are coming towards you in that sense. And that honestly makes me really excited for you, Pile 1. I feel like with this wall card, you know, just looking at it, it looks like, at least to me, it looks like the Great Wall of China. And, you know, that's something that takes time, you know. That's a big structure, you know. So I feel like you've been working really hard, and you've been really giving it your all to kind of manage different things in your life. Because despite the fact that we have a few cards here that may kind of symbolize, you know, negativity in your life, or things that kind of threw you off balance, it really does feel like you've managed to balance these things and kind of manage them. I almost wonder if you're like a Libra or an air sign, because I feel like air signs have an amazing mental capacity to deal with these things. But I just want to commend you, Pile 1, for dealing with these things, because I really do get this air of like, you really want to make sure to get all the corners, and you really want to be as thorough as possible moving forward, and you've tried to be as thorough as possible. But I feel like, you know, you can't please anyone. And I think with this Page of Coins, Pile 1, it'll be this big time for you to kind of decide, well, what do I want? You know, like, what is it that you desire, Pile 1? And I feel like your needs and a lot of your desires and anything that pertains to those things will finally kind of get their own spotlight, and will kind of finally be brought up. And I feel like those things will be of huge focus moving forward, which is really exciting for you. Basically, your basic human needs will finally be of concern to everyone around you. And I feel like that's something that has been kind of important to you. Not even kind of important. That is something that should be important to everyone, you know, because I feel like you've really given it your all. So I feel like this will be kind of like, if you will, like the karmic the karma itself coming back to you, like the good karma that you've built trying so hard. And I knew readings like this were going to come out today. That's why I felt like, oh my gosh, we need good news, y'all. Like, it feels like 2020. But anyways, let's pull another card. King of Cups. Here it goes again with this kind of idea that there is this masculine energy. So once again, the King of Cups could literally be a King of Cups in your life coming towards you. But I also feel like pile 1, you've really evolved emotionally, and I feel like this card, oh my gosh, I just love the lighting in it. It's so romantic to me. You know what I mean? This kind of ambient lighting in the top here. I don't know what vibes this gives me, but it just, you know, this is the Midnight City Tarot, and it's based off of New York, and I just feel like, you know, like New York's all the way back here, but yet, you know, we all know New York's chaotic, expensive, all of the above, you know, multiple choice like A, B, C, D, and option D is all of the above. We're gonna pick D here. But with the King of Cups card and this figure kind of chilling, even though there's this crazy city back here, I really feel like this will be a moment of solace for you, pile 1. And I feel like you're gonna get a lot of breathing space. In this breathing space, I feel like this is really all you need, because with this Page of Coins, like I said, just like there's probably a lot of things or a few things that are more pushed aside that you've wanted to start, wanted to do, participate in, you know, a lot of just things you wanted to do. You'll finally have the emotional capacity, mental capacity, and the time to do it, you know. You can, and I say that because in the King of Cups, I just see this figure that's kind of like, you know, out, you know, like spaced out, and kind of has found their own space amidst the chaos, you know, somewhere that's peaceful, even though that there is so much chaos around, you know. And I also feel like with this Page of Coins, this, I see kind of like a movie, and I think that's interesting because I feel like with this reconciliation card, I almost wonder if this will kind of come in the form of going out with friends, or like I said, going out with this masculine figure. I feel like just there will be this theme in your life, pile 1, is that you'll finally have time for the things you love. I could end the reading right there, but that's not how we do things around here. But you know what I mean? You'll finally have the time to do things that you've wanted to do for so long. And that is good news all on its own, chili. Okay, let's pull another card here. Ooh, we have the Two of Cups. Oh my gosh. Pile 1. I'm literally... Okay. Let me just not. I want to make it look cute. You already know who is pulling these cards. You know. But obviously with the Two of Cups, I like this deck because even the romantic cards, I feel kind of have a more platonic feel to them. I feel like this deck is more detached, in my opinion. I feel like it's not as like emotional as my other decks. But that's why I kind of used it today, because I didn't want it to be like overly emotional, you know. Not that that's like a bad thing, you know. Being overly emotional is not a bad thing, but I'm just saying like I felt like it would have been better, you know, because not everyone wants to hear about romance. But pile 1, I really do feel like if you've been manifesting like a lover or a romantic interest, or if you're with someone and you're manifesting more time with them, anything that deals with romance, I feel like it's coming towards you, or it's coming towards you in some shape or form, you know. When I say romance, I feel like the word romance has been kind of generalized to be of, you know, like a relationship, or, you know, love and things like that. But romance can literally come in tons of different forms. I don't know if y'all watch Gentle Whispering, but this is such a specific example. There was this video where she was reviewing this car, and she was literally reviewing my dream car. It was a Mercedes CLA 250, year 2014, color white with a beige interior. But there was this lighting in the car, and it was ambient lighting all throughout the car, and she described it as romantic. And that has just carried on with me for so long, in the sense that the word romance and like anything that is romantic could come in so many different forms that isn't a relationship. So I feel like with this Two of Cups, pile 1, what I'm trying to say is I feel like there will be more romance in your life. You know, like, oh my gosh, with the page of coins, you know, like going out with friends, going out with a lover, going out with someone you like, you know, your crush asking you out, or like things like that. But it could also be like, finally, you have the time to stay in, turn on the fairy lights, the Christmas lights, watch the movie that you love, watch the new movie in theaters that you've been dying to go see. You know, finally going to Target when it's been like 2 weeks and you haven't had the time or energy to go there. And you know what I mean? Just time for things you love and time for things that make room for romance, beauty, and all of the above, you know? And obviously, with the Two of Cups here, it is still the number two. And I feel like there could be a lot of options because two to me kind of signifies a crossroads. So there could be a lot of emotional decisions to make that are good. I feel like it would be like a, like, what are those things called? It's like a French word of like, it's like a charcuterie board, you know, like a hors d'oeuvre, something like that. You know, like you'll have so many great things to choose from. You know what I mean? I'm getting this sense of like so many options to pick from, and they're all amazing, and you finally have the time for all of them. You know. Okay, let's pull one more card before I kind of wrap things up. Today's reading is probably going to be kind of short because I feel like good news doesn't need to be drawn out. Okay, we have the Six of Cups. Wow. Pile 1, you're reading so cute. I love this for you. But once again, with this childlike energy that I was talking about, the Page of Coins, because obviously the Six of Cups, I'm sure, honestly, if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you know what tarot cards mean, or like you kind of have a clue to it. But in case you don't know, the Six of Cups literally deals with like childhood, innocence, you know, things like that. And a lot of people call it the soulmate card, so you could be dealing with someone that could very well be your soulmate. That is a very specific message, but I do think that it's worth mentioning. So if it resonates, take it. If it does not, do not take it. But I do feel like that is a very specific message. But in general, with the Six of Cups, I feel like there will be this sense of familiarity and finally being able to revisit things that you loved in your life. Like, let me provide some context. For example, recently I've been listening to the Scooby-Doo soundtrack, but so for those of you that have never seen it, there's this movie called Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, and there's this channel called Offbeat Nikki, if you're interested, but she kind of did like a commentary video on those four kind of like the 90s Scooby-Doo movies, and one of them was the Cyber Chase, and that inclined me to listen to the soundtrack again. There's this song called Double Double Joint, and it goes absolutely bonkers, and it reminded me of such a good time in my life. It reminded me of my childhood, but it also reminded me of this specific era of my life like 2 years ago where I would sit at my dining table in my parents' house and I would just like I would listen to that, read a book, and drink tea. And it was just such a grand old time. And every time I listen to that song, I just smile and think of that era. And the reason I'm mentioning this pile 1 is because I want to provide some examples as to what the Six of Cups could look like. I feel like you'll be revisiting things and bringing more love, more innocence back into your life. That'll help you kind of indulge nostalgically. And I feel like nostalgia kind of has like some weird connotations to it, or kind of like, I feel like everyone's relationship with the word nostalgia is very personalized, obviously, but I feel like for you, it'll be a good nostalgia. You know, I feel like you'll finally be able to look back. I feel like you'll finally be able to relish the past for what it was, but that'll also kind of help re-inspire you and reinvigorate you to move towards the present and the future. Not towards the present, but move in the present towards the future. You could be a Taurus or a Libra. I sense a lot of Venus energy from this reading. I'm a Taurus moon, and I feel like I'm a sucker for nostalgia. Also, I'm a Sagittarius rising, but nostalgia I love it. I feel like I used to have such a negative relationship with it because I was like, oh my gosh, I want to go back to this time of my life. But now that I look back, I'm like, wow, I'm so glad that happened. I don't think I would go back because I love who I am now, but I very much appreciate these memories. And I feel like pile 1, that's kind of a theme in your reading and what's coming towards you in the form of like good news, if you will, is that you'll honor the past, look forward to the future, but really indulge in the present. You know, I just feel like you'll finally kind of reach like a middle ground in everything, and you'll finally feel more stable, more comfortable with yourself. You know, you'll be so protected in the sense that even if there are like misunderstandings or disappointments going on in your life, those won't be an issue. They'll kind of resolve themselves, or you will be empowered to resolve them yourself, and it will be like nothing. It'll be like clockwork. And for this reconciliation card, I just feel like that'll be reconciling with people in your life, and also with yourself, you know, bringing more romance, bringing more innocence back into your life, and just making your life more beautiful. Honestly, pile one, I just feel like the good news is that your life is going to be a lot more beautiful and a lot less chaotic moving forward, and there will be a lot of expansion and time for things that you want, you know, and like a lot of your wishes might be granted coming forward with this Page of Coins card. I feel like right now is a great time to put orders into the universe and be like, this is what I want, or this is what I'm kind of looking for. Plant the seed now, because you'll have the opportunity and the capacity to do so, and it'll kind of like lend you to what's to come next, especially since we have a new moon coming up. I think it's on like, today's Monday, I think it's on Wednesdays, I think it's the 23rd, but you know, good things are coming towards you, pile one, in the form of romance, beauty, time, and simplicity. So yeah, that's all I have for you, pile one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that resonated. I'm excited for you, and honestly, if romance is coming towards you, we love that for you. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm all about relationship. I love love. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. But yeah, pile one, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, because I'm like a YouTuber. But before I say thank you so much for watching, I love you a million times. You know the drill. I'm gonna cut it off. Bye. Hello, pile 2. If you chose this pile, this is going to be reading for what good things are coming towards you. So, for your oracles, we have 7th Chakra, Archangel Uriel. Oh, sorry, there's something on the card. Anyways, and then we have, for these little cards, I pulled a few of them because I feel like these cards are so specific, you need like a bunch of them, at least in my experience. So we have Lion, Time to Act. Dark Woman, dealings or relationship with a woman of dark complexion or hair. Heart, love, deep affection and caring. Gong, an exciting event. Oh my god, y'all. I'm getting excited. And Dog, close up, pleasure with a close friend. So, if you felt drawn to, actually no, wait, pause. I was going to say if you felt drawn to pile 1, but I feel like pile 1 was like way different than this. I don't know. I'm going crazy. I mean, if you didn't, who am I to stop you? You know? But pile 2, the immediate first thing that kind of came through to me was that the 7th chakra, at least in my interpretation, is kind of like the wisdom chakra, you know? Like your thought process, your mind. And with this time to act card, I feel like a really great thing that's coming to you, pile 2, in the future is that you will have the motivation, the push, and the support to go after things that you want to do. And with this exciting event card, with this Gong card, I feel like I almost wonder if there will be major payoff, because if it is, you know, the 7th chakra, I feel like there's obviously an emphasis on your thought process. You could be a very thought-oriented person, like a head-over-heart person. So I feel like with that context, it almost seems to me as if you've been thinking a lot about something that you really want to do, or maybe you've been even overthinking about something that you want to do. And I'm feeling like moving forward, you will have the push and the support to do it. And I feel like it could deal with this Dark Woman card. It could deal with like a feminine figure. Of course, it doesn't have to be a woman, but I just feel like whoever this is radiates that feminine energy. Or maybe it could be like a romantic thing if you're into women, you know, that's your thing. But sorry, that might have came off rude. I'm so sorry, pile 2, but you know, I just wanted to say that because I love advertising the fact that I am all for inclusivity. So, but anyways, I also feel like pile 2, with this dog card, I'm sensing a lot of consistency and loyalty in your life moving forward, pile 2. I feel like, because when I pulled this card, what I was thinking, when I think of dogs, I think of loyalty. I think of, this creature that is always by your side, always excited to see you, always, with you, even if they're evil or not. So just this creature that's completely bespoke to you because you raised them, you trained them, or you're with them all the time. And I feel like that energy is gonna kind of translate into the good things coming towards you in your life, pile 2, in the sense that, like, there will be loyalty and you won't have to question this person's love or their trust and belief in you, with this Dark Woman card. But obviously, I feel like this love and this loyalty could come from anywhere, but I do think that there is kind of an emphasis on this Dark Woman card here. And I feel like with this exciting event card, this card could literally be anything. Both this close-up dog card, it could be that you will have more time for friends. The reason I wanted to say that if you felt called to pile 1 is that they kind of got the same thing of, like, having time for the things you love and the people you love. But I feel like pile 2, it does come in the form of hangout and time with people in your life that you really care about. This Dark Woman card could be like your mother or like a maternal figure, someone who, is your guardian or has been your guardian, or it could be like a sister or something. But I'm just sensing that there is somebody in your life that you'll finally have time to spend time with. Wow. Okay. But you'll finally have time for them, And I feel like with this Lion card, it really could. These cards are kind of like I don't know how to describe it. They could really mean anything. And with this Lion card, I feel like this card and the exciting event card really does seem like umbrella cards and will be kind of probably a theme moving forward in your reading. But it seems as if though you'll finally have time to make plans and you'll have like the courage to be like, oh, I just got like a message. Like, what, I feel like maybe you've been planning a trip with someone, or kind of like, like wanting to go, like, hey, we've been trying to get flight tickets, or like, trying to plan for this really long drive or something of the sorts. And I feel like you will finally have the time to plan those things and finally have time to, go through with these plans. If that resonates with you, take it. If it doesn't, leave it. But I do feel like there's this theme of you'll finally have time to do things that you've been wanting to do with the people that you want to spend time with. And I feel like it'll be very exciting for you, pile 1. Obviously, it'll be exciting because this is a good news reading. But I feel like with this exciting event card, it really does seem like this ultimatum of like, this is what my whole life has led to kind of moment, that dramatic idea of like, wow, like, this is so fun or exciting. And with this heart card, obviously, it could also just come in the form of something smaller, like a date or like, a Target run. Because honestly, I don't know about y'all, but I love going to Target. I told this to pile 1, but I literally love that place. And maybe you haven't had the time to really browse and go look around. And this will kind of be your moment, Pile 2, I almost said pile 1, sorry. But it really just does seem like that whatever good things are coming into your life before we get into the tarot is that, like, you will finally have the urge and the time, energy, all the resources you need to finally make moves on the thoughts you've been having or, like, the ideas you've had. You'll finally be able to execute those things, pile 2, which is just all on its own very exciting. And I feel like these ideas that you have are, like, ingenious, first of all. If we have 7th chakra energy here, you're probably a very thought-oriented person. So like, you could be an air sign, you could be a water sign too. I love mentioning zodiac signs. It's so much fun, especially when people are like, OMG, like, I am a Pisces, or like, oh my gosh, you said, or like, yes, I am a Sagittarius or something like that. I'm like, oh my god, hi. But yeah, I love when y'all comment. Y'all make me so happy. I love talking to y'all. I'm just saying. Like, when I'm telling y'all to comment, I'm just like, please, I want to talk to y'all. I want to get to know y'all. Let's be friends. But yeah, let's get into the tarot. I'm using the Midnight City Tarot. I love this deck. It was like it was literally the first deck I bought when I got to California, so really special to me. All right. What good things are coming towards pile 2? What good things are coming towards pile 2? What good things are coming towards pile 2? Alright. Doing the same format because it has never failed me. Until I find a better format, I am not changing this method. Period. Too stubborn. Okay, so for your first card, we have the High Priestess. Yeah, I feel like this kind of changes things. Well, not really, but it kind of adds on to this idea that you're a thought-oriented person, because obviously the High Priestess card leans more towards, I feel like, feelings and intuition. So I feel like I almost wonder if this thought-oriented process and narrative I've been kind of channeling is a result of your intuition. You know what I mean? Kind of like your intuition inspires, or like kind of like, how do I say, dictates your thought process. Not to say that you completely rely on intuition, because I do feel like that you are a very like head over heart person still, but I feel like you still value your intuition, and I think that you just process it through your thoughts first and you kind of rationalize things. It makes me think of like Virgo and like Scorpio, but I feel like with this High Priestess card, I always have kind of, not trouble reading the High Priestess card, but I feel like it could mean so many different things that I kind of struggle to kind of pin it down. But what I will say about this card is that the main thing that I'm feeling right now is I feel like there's a lot of things that you've been dreaming about, or there's a lot of things that you feel called to do, but you just haven't had the resources to do it. So I feel like the good news is really talking about this thing that you've been called to do, and whatever it may be. It could deal with this person that we've been talking about, or it could deal with this close friend. But I feel like pile 2, if you've been having a lot of gut feelings, you know what I mean, that feeling of like, this is gonna happen, or I feel like we're about to do this, or I feel like something is about to happen, it will happen. And obviously what's gonna happen is the good things that you've been anticipating for quite a while now. But I feel like this High Priestess card is kind of giving the message that your hunches are correct, you know, that a lot of the things that you've been anticipating, a lot of the things that you've been seeing in your dreams, feeling, thinking, they're all coming true, okay? Everything that you've been hoping for is probably going to come true and manifest in some way, shape, or form, in ways that you would have either expected or not expected. The point is that they're happening, you know what I'm saying? And this is on my desk. But I just feel like you'll finally have kind of the space to act upon these things, you know? I feel like, I do think that manifestation requires some effort. Obviously, you know, like, that is just kind of like a duh thing, but, you know, I do think that it's worth mentioning in this moment, in the sense that, like, you'll finally be able to, you know, put a hand in and give, like, not put a hand in, but give a hand to your manifestations, you know, actually put in some work to make them happen and kind of expedite the process. And it seems as if, though, that pile 2, a good thing for you is that your life will probably start to pick up a lot of pace moving forward. And I feel like that is like a godsend to you, because I'm sensing a lot of anticipation and a lot of overthinking, impatience in this reading. I feel like there's things that you've been wanting to do and you'll finally be able to do them. Because I just feel like you've been like, you know, like, when can I do this? When can I do this? When can I do this? When is it going to happen? Like, I'm anticipating it. Like, come on now. Like, I've been seeing all these messages. Like, I'm literally watching this reading right now. And it's just like, girl, like, when is it going to happen? Because I keep seeing signs about it. But I feel like it's going to happen the moment that this kind of situation lines up. And when I say situation, it's that you'll kind of have an opening to finally make a move, or you'll have that push, the support, or kind of like the go ahead to start making moves. And it could kind of refer to this female figure that I've been talking about, this feminine energy. But whatever the case may be, it's just a sense of you'll finally have the resources and the capacity to bring in your manifestations, you know, like, actually, you know, your order's just been called. You can finally go grab it, you know, like, you just ordered it at a fast food joint and you're just sitting there waiting, and it's like, oh my gosh, like I already put in all the, but it's just like, I want to say, like, you go to the place knowing what you want, knowing what you want to order, but it's like you actually have to go in, pay, and order, and actually, put in the work to get it, not put in the work because other people make it for you, but you know what I mean. And then it's just like, it's a matter of waiting, but then when it gets called, you actually have to go get it, and I feel like that's kind of the vibe here, is that you'll finally have this call of action, or kind of this stars align moment to go get what you want, and it'll just come like that, like your order is literally gonna be called, but it's just like, it's gonna require you to put in some work. And honestly, Pilot 2, when I say that, I really do feel like you're willing to put in the work. I say that in the sense that you're gonna do it, as opposed to like, oh my gosh, like I have to do that, you know what I mean? But it's just like, I feel like you've been anticipating this, and you've been waiting for signs, and you've been kind of waiting for a message to come through. And honestly, Pilot, this very well may be that message, and that your manifestations are literally coming true right now, and soon enough you'll have this moment to go get it. Let's pull another card. We have Page of Swords. Perhaps this manifestation is gonna require you to say something or ask for something, or like an interview or something, because the Page of Swords, in my opinion, is a pretty hesitant card, and it kind of deals with like, how do I say, like your thought process. And I think it's ironic that we pulled the Page of Swords and we have the 7th chakra here. I feel like those two kind of go hand in hand here. And it's the sense of like, Pile 2, I feel like you're going to get something off your chest. I feel like moving forward, there'll be something that you have been wanting to say, or something you've been kind of wanting to execute. But I feel like it does deal with something you want to say. I feel like there's something you want to say to somebody. And I think that once you do, it's kind of when the ball will start rolling. And I feel called to mention that I've been reading the imagery on these cards, because I don't know, I usually don't read the imagery too much, because I like to do things intuitively, but I do think that this is very interesting here. So I noticed that this figure is holding a sword, obviously because it's Page of Swords, and they're walking away from this building, and it kind of looks like an apartment because of the, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like bars on the window, to prevent things from getting in. But why I'm saying that is, I feel like this is you finally heading out with the thoughts that you have, like the ideas that you have, and you're about to go execute them despite the conditions. And, because it's raining, but I feel like, it's this moment of like, I feel called to do this. I don't care the circumstances. I don't care what is happening. Like, I'm doing this. I'm saying this. We're going through with it. It doesn't matter. And your efforts will heavily pay off, Pilot 2. And that is honestly the good news all on its own, is that you'll finally have the drive to do what you've been wanting to do. And I almost wonder if you've been waiting for this drive, or this kind of burst of motivation. I very much feel like I'm the same way, in the sense that I'm the type of person that's kind of waits till my passion kicks in. And when it does, I'm just like ready to go. Like, I'm just like, hey, yo, like, I'm in the car, my hands are on the wheel, the car is started, she is heated up, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's kind of the vibe that will kind of be embracing you as you move forward. It's like, you'll finally have this, like, this spark, and you'll be like, hey, yo, let's go. And I feel like once that starts up, a lot of the things that you've been wanting regarding love, money, traveling, good things, anything that you've been wanting will finally kind of start materializing in front of you, or kind of like, coming towards you and manifesting. So let's pull another card here. Very curious now. We also have 10 of Wands. I really like the way this card is depicted in this particular deck, because we can kind of see this person rushing on, not kind of see, but you literally see somebody rushing onto this subway, and they are rushing, and they have all this stuff, but they're leaving all these wands behind. So Pile 2, the reason I'm mentioning that is, I feel like that's what's happening here. I feel like you're leaving behind things that aren't serving you. I think that that is a topic that I should talk about more in this reading, because it does seem like with overthinking and with burdens, it's just a sense of like, I've been working a lot and I've been in my head a lot. I've been feeling lonely and all of the above. Like, not saying that you have to feel this way, pile two. You very well could have been like a peace, love, serenity AF moment. But also simultaneously, I do think that for a good majority of you, maybe leading up to this point, you've been kind of overworked or kind of tired or kind of waiting for the next best thing. And let me tell you something. I feel like there will finally be this moment, this last minute moment. It really does feel like a very last minute thing where you're just like, no, I'm done. Like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I want to do something else. And it's also ironic that it was a subway or like kind of like a, an underground train because, that once again relates to travel. And I think I was talking about travel, or not I think, but, like I was talking about traveling and finally going through a plans that you've been wanting to make or a vacation that you've been wanting. Maybe with this 10 of Wands, like you'll finally get the 3 days off in a row that you need to go travel, or you'll finally get the pay raise that you've been needing. All the things that you've been needing and all the resources that have been required to execute the plans that you've been wanting to go through with will finally come to you. And then you'll have kind of this, I feel like this is also accumulation. I feel like not only, like, I think that what I'm trying to say here is that these resources, I think that you've been saving up over time. So you probably have been saving up money. You've probably been planning out. You've probably been, talking with people about, like, oh, can I get a plant sitter or like a house sitter, a babysitter, or, like, can I get these days off this coming month. It's just that I think that you've been working very carefully to kind of align these things that you've been wanting to do. And let me just tell you, pile two, they're literally gonna go through. I almost wonder if you've been planning this and you clicked on this video because you were like, or like you've been waiting for a message that's like, yeah, this will go through smoothly. And I'm here to tell you, pile two, I really do think that, to be completely transparent, I do feel like with this 10 of Wands energy here, I do think that it's going to be kind of like a rush moment or something that you kind of like maybe stress about, or something that you're like, oh my gosh, let's go, let's go, let's go. But I do think that despite the situation or like the circumstances leading up to it, the actual moment that you've been waiting for will be beautiful. It'll be really exciting. It'll be full of love, companionship, excitement, and just all of these good things piled too. So I just want to say that, like, all of your stress and your work are gonna be paid off, and they will be repaid to you via karma in good things. It's that I think that honestly, this is kind of why I wanted to do this reading, because I feel like as a collective, we've all been grinding. Saturn left retrograde. It didn't really do anything to me because I was born during a Saturn retrograde. LOL. Wow, love that for me. I feel like since Saturn retrograde ended like this month or last month, I feel like we've all been working more. I feel like we've all been stressing more and wanting to do more and pick up more responsibilities. And I feel like we're expecting so much payoff. And I think that this is the payoff that's coming towards you, pile two. And I think that when I say payoff, I feel like you have a preconceived idea for what it is. So apply that, pile two, because I don't want to like sit here and be like the whole 30 minutes or however long this reading is going to be like, oh, like it's going to be traveling. And y'all are like, I'm not trying to travel. I'm literally just trying to like lay down for 15 minutes uninterrupted, And if that's the payoff that you've been looking for, that's what's coming to you. You know what I'm saying? It's that whatever idea you have of payoff, that's what's coming to you, pile two. And that's a result of your hard work and a lot of the time and, careful planning that you have orchestrated leading up until this point. And, I just think that with this 10 of Wands, it will be kind of like a boiling over the pot moment. But I think that once that era ends, because I think that time period of that high stress will be very short. It could literally last only like 2 hours or something of the sorts. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like after that, it'll just be bliss and excitement and love and all of these good things that I've been talking about, pile two. So let's pull one more card before I kind of wrap up this reading. Oh my gosh, pile two. We pulled the sun. Oh my gosh. Okay. I hate to be that reader that pulls a card and gets all excited. Like, oh my god, look at the card. Yeah, like that's like exciting. But truthfully, pile two, I really do feel like this is, I couldn't think of a better card for you right now. And it's very interesting how these cards kind of pull through. I love the way this deck reads. I feel like no matter what order I pull them, they always seem to tell a story. You know what I'm saying? First, it starts out the high priestess, this idea that you've had, you know, this something that a message you've been getting, a call for something. Like, I feel like this is coming. I feel like I want this, or like I want to do this. And then with the Page of Swords, you decide to head out. You decide to do something about it, you know, despite the conditions and circumstances. You're like, let's go out and try this. And then with the Ten of Wands, like, you've accumulated everything and you've gotten all the things you need. You've bundled up. You've gathered all your things, you know. Because as you can see here, this person's leaving this place with nothing on. But right here, they're wearing a coat and like a scarf and a book bag and all these bags, you know. And it's like you have all the resources and you're kind of rushing last minute. But then what comes after it is the Sun card. You know what I'm saying? Just beauty, warmth, and this warmth is probably going to come in the form of love, excitement, and companionship. And that companionship could be romantic or platonic, whatever resonates. And I feel like this will be so satisfying, pile 2. I think that this Sun moment, and I hate to sit here and be like, oh, like this Sun moment, that's what's coming to you, you know? Because I feel like we can all safely assume that we're gonna have a Sun moment or that there's a good thing coming. But I feel like this Sun moment is gonna be a lot better than what you expected, you know? I feel like it's gonna be so much more enjoyable than you expected. If you are traveling, you know, the place that you're about to go see is just as, like, it beats your expectations, you know? The restaurant you've been wanting to try, it beats your expectations, you know. Whatever good things are coming towards you that you've been anticipating and working for, it will beat your expectations, pile 2. And just the sheer amount of like love, excitement you feel from it, you know, and also from the sheer satisfaction of the fact that you've been anticipating it, it'll be like, I told y'all so, you know, I was right, you know, I've been working so hard for this, I deserve it, you know. I feel like you'll be completely entitled to this moment, as you should be, but you know, I feel like that will feel even better, you know, that you feel entitled to this good moment because you work so hard for it. You know, no one can take it away from you. No one can take good things away from you, pile 2. But you know, I feel like right now you have physical proof for that, and that's why it's so satisfying for you. And you know what, this Sun card, it's literally the Sun card, you know what I mean? The Sun card's literally just happiness, good things, and just like excitement, you know. And maybe you could be going to a park or something, because I am seeing like parks and stuff. But you know, just a lot of beauty. And there's also like a dragonfly and just people on like a picnic. You know, they're laying down together. This person's laying by themselves, I think. We love that. But, you know, I just feel like there will be a moment for you to... There will be a moment in which you truly relish it and you truly enjoy it. And that alone, pile 2, is just so exciting. I just feel like a lot of the hard work you've put in, it's not going unnoticed, pile 2. Just know that. And I feel like this good thing that's coming towards you, this payoff that I keep talking about, I almost feel called to say that you won't even realize the moment that it's the moment that you've been waiting for, because it will shock you so much as to how beautiful and exciting it is, only until like near the end of it, or till like not in the first half of it at least, like only until after that first half you'll be like, this is what I've been waiting for, y'all. This is it. This is it. Oh my god. So I feel like that's what it's gonna be like, pile 2. So yeah, that's the reading I got for you, pile 2. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. By the way, I should have told that to pile 1. If you're from pile 1, I'm so sorry. It's not like that. But yeah, I'm excited for you. Thank you for watching. I love you. Like, comment, and subscribe, because I'm like a YouTuber. But also, especially comment, because I love talking to you guys. I love seeing how the reading applied to you. I just think that's so exciting, you know. But yeah, before I say like, comment, subscribe like a million more times, I'm just gonna end it off here. So bye, pile 2. Hello, pile 3. If you chose pile 3, this is gonna be your reading for what good things are coming towards you. So yeah, let's get right into it. For your oracle cards, we have Healer of the Ages. Sorry, I just like when they're perfect. And you got the most cards from this. It was like one more. But for you, these little cards, we got Cobweb. Protected from negative forces beyond your control. Love that. Kangaroo. Unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Grasshopper. Situation in the balance that require careful handling. Your cards are very detailed. Fair man, dealings or relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. Beau, you are highly thought of. Where am I gonna put this last one? And flag, do not be tempted to lower your standards. Okay, pile 3. Don't tell pile 1 or 2, but I was so excited to do y'all's reading just from the cards that I pulled, because I feel like, first of all, this is about to be a lot. Me saying it's a lot, but it's only about to be a few minutes. But the reason I feel called to mention that is I feel like pile 3. The reason I wanted to do this reading is I told this to pile 2. Not that, like, if you felt called to pile 2, like, if you did feel called to pile 2, like, you know, go watch it if you want. But also, it's just this vibe that I feel like as of late, as a collective, we've all been kind of in autopilot mode. And I feel like we're all still recovering that was the beating that was Virgo season. I love Virgos, but let me tell you, I feel like Virgo season was a little bit offensive. I don't know what that was. We're not even going to talk about it. We're just going to move on and focus on ourselves. But Saturn retrograde finally ended, you know, quite recently. And I feel like after that, we were all picking up a lot of burdens and stuff. You know, a lot of more responsibilities. I didn't feel anything because I was born during Saturn retrograde. So I was like, hey, y'all. But that's besides the point. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is pile 3 is I feel like of all the piles, I do feel like you have dealt with the most stuff, if you know what I mean. Insert profanity. And also, I do want to make it clear that I do curse a lot. I cuss like a sailor, y'all. Like, if y'all met me in person, you're like, wow, you have such a potty mouth. You need to get your mouth washed out with soap. But for the sake of the video, I don't like cursing that much. But anyways, besides the point. So, I feel like these cards are obviously very dynamic, especially since you pulled one more than the other ones. But basically what I feel like I'm like beating around the bush right now. With the Healer of the Ages card, first of all, I feel like what's coming towards you, pile 3, at least in the future, is that you're finally going to get a moment to yourself. And I feel like that's been a theme in all the readings today. But I feel like this moment to yourself will be a lot different in the sense that you'll kind of find solace and you'll kind of finally reach a position where you are, like, not saying that you aren't respected, but you'll reach a higher position of respect. You know, you already are respected, but you'll kind of level up. And I feel like this leveling up process will be very divinely guided, in the sense that I think that you are being protected right now, especially with this Cobweb card. But I feel like with this Kangaroo and Grasshopper card, I feel like you'll finally get the opportunity to plan for your future, and you'll finally be able to kind of move forward and kind of like put in your orders for the universe, be like, oh, this is what I want. Like, you know, like what you want will basically be a huge topic in your life moving forward. And I feel like it's kind of this moment of, hey, like, you're such an experienced blank, or like you're such an amazing person. Like, what do you want to do with yourself moving forward, you know? Like, I feel like with this Fair Man card, there could be a masculine energy that comes forth and kind of is like, hey, I've noticed you work really hard, or like, hey, like, I noticed your grades, or something of the sort. Something about you that is laudable and something that is worth recognition will be recognized, you know? I feel like pile 3, a lot of your talents will be recognized and you will gain a lot more attention moving forward. But I think that because of said attention, you will be put in this position where you have to, you know, grow more or like advance more. And I very much think that you are capable of doing this. And I feel like with the Healer of the Ages card, it's just this sense of like, you'll finally be able to move on and prove yourself, or like do what you've been wanting to do. Like, that's been a theme in all of the readings today, pile 3. But I think that for you, it's a little bit different in the sense that you'll finally be able to let go of the things that you wanted to let go of and plan for the things that actually matter to you, you know? Like, I'm thinking, like, you know how, like, they kind of always say when you go to, like, a 4-year college, you don't really get to start doing what your actual career path is. Or, like, you know, say, like, you want to be a botanist, but the first 2 years are kind of like just basic stuff like math, science, like reading, writing, all of that stuff, English, until like your junior year is like you don't really get to explore your actual career path. So your junior year, I've heard, is like when you're finding like, oh, like I want to take this class like agriculture and stuff, or like botany and plant sciences, that like I finally get to take classes that's relevant to my career. And that's the kind of vibe I'm getting, in the sense that you'll finally be able to do things relevant to what you want to be and what you want to do. And just like that could be anything. It could be as simple as like, hey yo, like I finally can work a job that I want to work, or I can finally buy the stuff that I want to buy, or be around the people that I want to be around. Like I finally can text this person, or I can finally go to this class. Things like that. What you want to do. When I say that, I'm pretty sure you have an idea of what it is that you're looking forward to, pile 3. But it's just a sense of, I feel like that thought process and that like desire of yours and that wish you have is very underdeveloped, because of the fact that you've tolerated so much turbulence leading up until this point. And with this kangaroo and grasshopper card, I think that, and this cobweb card, I feel like you'll finally have a moment in which you can kind of reap the benefits that you have, like reap the benefits of the hard work you've put into yourself and the situations around you. And what I mean by yourself is that I feel like you have taken better care of yourself. I feel like you have worked very hard on your image. I feel like maybe this could come in the form of like, I've been going to the gym, or I've been educating myself, I've been taking care of myself, or I've been kind of like digging deeper spiritually. I feel like this is probably the most spiritual pile out of all of the piles here, but that's for some of you, not all of you. But I think that, like I said, this desire that you have is so underdeveloped that I feel like now you'll finally have the chance to actually plan it out. And I feel like pile 3, you get a kick out of doing that. I feel like planning something is so exciting for you. Like I just feel like you just get shivers, like I feel like it's so fun for you. Like someone who, like balancing things and working things out and just being like, hey, like I'm excited to do this. Like, this is such a random example, but I have a friend, like my best friend in the whole world. Every time she plays Pokemon, she meticulously plans her entire team to like the stats, the natures, everything. And she has a lot of fun doing it. It kind of stresses her out, but she still has fun doing it. And I feel like pile 3, like I feel like you'll finally have that moment of being able to plan for the things that you want to plan for. It's like, who wants to plan for something that they don't want to do? You know what I'm saying? So it's just that sense of you get to plan for something that you want to do. And I think that with this fair man card here, it could come in the form, I feel like this could either be you or come towards you, this masculine energy that kind of provides opportunities for you. This could be like a father or something, but pile 3, I do reckon with this bow and flag card, take care to not lower your standards, period, because do not invalidate or undermine the hard work that you've done, okay? You don't have to broadcast the hard work that you've done. Let's be clear here. Not everyone has to know about what you've gone through. And I don't mean in the sense that like don't overshare, but also I mean that in the sense that like that's your business to share, Who gets to know about it is a privilege that you get to bestow onto other people. So take care of that, but also don't undermine that. No one knows what you've gone through. Even I don't know what you've gone through. Like no one knows but you. You were the only one that was 100% present for all the things you went through. So in that sense, do not undermine any of that for this process that's coming up in your life. And when I say process, I'm referring to like this planning and all these good things that you are, anticipating and things that you're working for, this kind of moment where you're finally letting go of all the BS that you tolerated up until this point, finally letting go of things, finally deciding to move on. Perhaps you're like moving on from like a relationship or a situation, a jobs, anything that wasn't serving you. I feel like there's things that you're letting go of, and with this cobweb card, you are protected from the aftermath of those things because you simply already paid off that karmic debt. That is none of your business anymore. That is left for other people. But like I said, do not undermine yourself, pile 3. Do not sell yourself short moving forward. It's something like, for example, if you're applying to a new job and there is a deal breaker moment, if they're like, oh, this job has everything that you want, but you have to work the graveyard shift. And deep down, you just feel that moment of, ooh, I don't want to work the graveyard shift. That is not my vibe. That is not. No, pile 3. You have to set your foot down. You have to be like, girl, I'm not working from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. You got me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, either A, I'm working the mornings or days, or B, I'm not taking this job at all. And I feel like they're like, no, we need you, please. We'll work you in somehow. We'll move someone from morning shift to night shift. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen. And when I say that's what's going to happen, that should be your motto. It's like, hey, I have tolerated enough. I have had enough. This is what's going to happen. Like, I'm getting this. And I feel like the good things coming towards you will come in the form of you being in more control, or you having more of a say, and like, you will be respected, pile 3. I feel like a lot of the good things coming towards you will be in the form of self-empowerment and immense respect from external sources because of that. So yeah, let's get into the tarot and kind of get more context. I feel like I've been going on and on and on. Whew. Using the Midnight City Tarot, I need to do a better job of just like listening to decks that I use in the description box. But I feel like the decks I use are pretty well known. But obviously, not everybody's the same. Yeah, I don't know who I told this to. I think I told this to Pile 2. But this tarot deck is actually the first deck I ever bought when I first got to California. So very special. So, what good things are coming towards pile 3? What good things are coming towards pile 3? Disclaimer, I'm going to do the same reading method that I always do because I love it and it's just so fun for me and so much more. I just need routine, y'all. Okay, so the first card we have is 3 of Cups. This is a nice card. I like this card. I love the pink in it, first of all. But also, with the pink, I also probably almost wonder if this will come in the form of self-love. So when I think pink, I think of a bunch of things. Okay, I'm just gonna go off tangent just for a second here, When I think of pink, I think of Taeyeon from Scientist when she's wearing that cute pink denim jacket. I've been wanting that jacket and I found that exact one. I'm gonna buy it. I also think of rose quartz. I'm wearing a bracelet right now, and I think of ice cream. I think of Japanese cherry blossoms and the heart and love. So I feel like maybe one of those things could come upon you. If you get that denim jacket before I do, I will start crying. But that's besides the point, pile 3. Sorry about that. But basically what I'm trying to say here is I just think that it's interesting that I was so called to mention the pink, because I feel like that is what's coming. And I feel like rose quartz really does represent self-love. So I think that a lot of self-appreciation and a lot of honor for yourself will come to you. And I think that this will be very subtle in the sense that like you won't even have like an aha moment with it. I feel like it's just going to sneak into your life and maybe you'll look back and realize it, but I do think that this will be a very subtle energy that kind of comes towards you without you realizing it. And I'm saying that because it's like, I think that a lot of these things, a lot of good things that come towards you, you don't really have a particular moment where you're like, this is it, this is what's happening, this is the good thing, it's a good thing happening to you, pile 3. And why I'm saying that is I don't want you to think that, this will be a very highlighted moment in your life, but rather it'll be a moment that kind of starts and kind of like concentrates as you move forward, and it'll be something that you get to carry with you. I feel like that you very much already have been on this journey of self-love and appreciation, and I think that what's happening is that because you're learning to appreciate yourself more and love yourself more, as you should, pile 3, because you're literally amazing. And I think that as a result, you'll naturally start to attract things that are better, attract things that are better for you, more love, more appreciation, more things, from external sources. And with this Fair Man card, like, obviously it could come in the form of like a romantic interest. That's for some of you, not all of you. But I always like to mention that because I love when romance is mentioned, because I feel like, being human, at least for me, it's a very like a topic in my life that I take very seriously, and I want to mention it. But you know, it is the Three of Cups here. So this could come in the form of friends, you know, a lot of community, you know, like talking to people that align with your values, you know, very good conversations. I think very good conversations are coming towards you, pile three. And that is definitely something that will kind of provide this protection and help you this planning that you're looking for. I feel like pile three, one thing that's going to come towards you is like people, or like, you know, these people you could already know or could very well be your best friend or something, but I just think that you'll have more time for these people, and moving forward you'll kind of have more moments with them, and it's probably very enriching for you, pile three. I feel like maybe you like to be around other people, like kind of like that Gemini vibe of like other people are so enriching for your mind, but I also feel like you do need time to times like where you need a break. So I think that you've been in this resting period and kind of taking a break, working on yourself, focusing on yourself, and kind of putting in that work that I've been talking about. And I think that moving forward, the good things, like a lot of your hard work that you did internally will be reflected externally. And I think that will be heavily reflected in the people that you surround yourself with. Because obviously, on top of the fact that you're attracting better people because you've done so much positive work on yourself, you're also more critical of who you allow into your space and who you allow to, you know, have a slice of your energy. And I think that this cobweb card, like on top of that, you're just very divinely protected because you've tolerated enough, pile three. Like I feel like you very much had enough. And let's just say that like the good things coming towards you will come in the form of like other people. But I also, obviously, it doesn't have to be just people, but I think that that will be a big part of it. So let's pull another card. Eight of Wands. Yeah, this is coming in very quickly, honestly, pile three. I feel like it could have very well already happened or started. Because like I said, I don't feel as if though it'll be like kind of this ultimatum moment or kind of like this, you know, final destination moment, or like it won't be a very defined event in your life, but rather kind of like a series of events that kind of lead you through it, and it's kind of like this drawn out era of your life. You know what I mean? I feel like this is coming in the form of an era of your life where you just enjoy it more and you're having more fun. You're finally feeling like yourself again. Not saying that you weren't feeling yourself in the past, but you know, if that does resonate, obviously, you know, that resonates. But if it doesn't, you know, for some of you, it could very well just mean that like you'll finally feel more yourself. You know, it doesn't have to be that you weren't feeling yourself, but like now you feel more empowered and in your power. You know, you feel more magnified and energetic. Not magnified, magnetic. But with this Eight of Wands, I feel called to mention that the sun's kind of rising here. So I feel like, oh my gosh, pile three, that's so cute. I feel like it'll be kind of like a sun rising moment. And honestly, pile three, just know that you will really appreciate yourself and you will really honor the work you've done. I read this quote a really long time ago, and it was like, I forgot who it was by, but you can Google it, and if you're like fascinated by it or it calls to you. But it was this quote that was like, do not worry if you've done something amazing and nobody saw. For the sunrise is a beautiful spectacle every single morning, yet the majority still sleeps while it happens. You know what I mean? It's the sense of like something beautiful so happening, and you're such a beautiful person, pile three, and you've done so much work, and finally all these good things are rushing in towards you, and you'll finally have good conversations, good hangouts, good times, you know, like I feel like you're about to enter, obviously with Christmas coming in and like all the holidays, but I feel like that really does play a huge part. But I think that that energy also will be reflected even after these events, these holidays are over, in the sense that like you will have more appreciation for yourself. You know, I feel like, you know, like you may have gone through a lot leading up until this point, especially with the seasons changing and like the time change and all that. If the time change happens where you live, you know, I feel like it's just been very hard and very, you know, like you've worked a lot. And so I think that coming up, like you'll just have so many beautiful moments of people you care about, and it's just like I'm thinking like amazing restaurants, good malls, good hangouts, good drives, all of these amazing moments, you know, and just all of these like like your time will be so much more valued, and you'll finally have the energy to do things that you want to do. That's been a theme in all the readings, like having the capacity to do what you want to do. But I also feel like on top of that, you will be more supported in planning for things that you want to do. You know, after the holidays, you're probably going to be like, oh, I want to do this and this and this. I'm planning to do this. I want to go here. I want to get this done. I want to apply to this job. You know, I want to take this class. You know, all of these things you'll be supported in, and you'll finally get, you know, the support and the love and the external, you know, the things that you've done for yourself, you'll also receive it externally. So you'll be so much more empowered to plan for this next era of your life, on top of the fact that you're just really enjoying doing it and being around people that you care about, you know? Yeah, let's pull another card. We have Six of Wands. Oh my gosh. I was telling this to Pile too, but I pulled a card for them and I got excited about it, and I felt like such a freaking tarot reader, you know, like when they pull a card, they're like, oh my god, look at you guys, you got the Six of Wands, that's so exciting. But I really do want to say, Pile 3, that this is very exciting because the Six of Wands, first of all, we pulled 2 Wands cards here, so I really do feel like a lot of fiery passion and a lot of energy is coming back to you. But the Six of Wands is literally about victory and validation, you know? Like, there's no way I can misinterpret this card. There's no way I can, like, make things up of this, you guys. Like Six of Wands is literally about victory, and, like, you can see here with the firecrackers, you know, excitement and passion and just good things. So I feel like, and it's very interesting. I want to pull I can't wait till I pull the last card, but this deck reads very interesting in the sense that it's always telling a story. Every card in the deck is kind of contributing to a huge story. If you want to read about it, go to the Instagram for this deck. It's called like Midnight City Tarot. It's really easy to find. Make sure you find the right one though, because it has a lot of followers. You don't want to find a scam account. But basically, see here, like we have the Three of Cups, then the Eight of Wands, and the Six of Wands. So it's telling this story. Like, it'll start with these conversations, you know, collaborating, getting to know people, having fun hangouts, you know, going out, meeting people. And then very quickly, it'll lead you to the Six of Wands. Like, very quickly, you'll just feel so much more empowered, excited, validated, victorious, you know. The Six is really about overcoming hardship because it's right after the Five, you know. And Five is about, you know, setbacks, change, loss. And then you move towards the Six, you know, you overcame that loss, you overcame that change and that disappointment and all of these negative things that happened to you, you know. And it's like, despite the fact that they may have been negative and not felt so good, they still did like play a huge role in your victory. Because I remember this one time, it was a really long time ago, it was like sophomore year, I was walking with my friend and she was like, I'm having a really bad day, like I'm not having the best day. And I looked at her and I was like, well, the bad days are what makes the good days so much more savory. And I feel like that's kind of the case here, Pilot 3. Never forget that even though, like, the bad has to exist, and that's why the good is so good. And the good exists, and that's why the bad is so bad. You know what I mean, Pilot 3? And obviously, it's not that black and white. There's a lot of grays to it, but, you know, that's kind of the general idea. And basically what I'm saying here, Pilot 3, is that despite that fact that you have overcome hardships and that you've probably been going through a lot, you know, that's for some of you, not all of you. Maybe some of y'all haven't been going through, like, a lot. Maybe y'all have been thriving this whole time. But, you know, regardless of the case, like, you're still going to be feeling this victory moment. But it's like, if you have been going through tough times, do know that those tough times did sponsor this good moment, in the sense that you know where you came from. Like I said, you were the only one that was 100% present for the things that you went through. So this kind of, like, victorious moment is, like extra special to you, you know, like, because you know what you just came from, and that'll make it all the more victorious. So that's why you shouldn't lower your standards, because, like, people will know that you've gone through a lot, okay? People can sense that vibe about you. People will know that, like, you're not one to be messed with, and that you're someone who has literally, like, come from the ashes. So let's pull one more card here before we kind of wrap this up. We have the Judgment card here. I really do, okay, I like the Judgment card here because I feel like it's this change of tone. Because I feel like this Judgment card, okay, to be completely transparent with you, I do feel like this card does have, like, kind of like an ominous air to it because it is talking like about a cemetery. But also pile 3, the reason I'm saying that I like this card here is that I feel like with the victory that you're going to be dealing with and all the good things that you're going to be, reaping, I feel like it'll change your perspective with this judgment card. I feel like it'll be this moment of, wow, like, why did I ever settle for less back then? Why did I ever shackle myself to toxic relationships or like deal with jobs I didn't like? Or why did I let myself go through that? Like, I feel like this victory will be so amazing. And I feel like you'll have this epitome moment where you're like, girl, like, I'm just never tolerating that ever again. Like, whatever is, like, I'm just not doing it. Especially with this, like, flag and bow card, like, you were highly thought of and don't lower your standards, I feel like with this judgment card, it's gonna be a lot. I feel like pile 3, maybe you dealt with so much stuff that you maybe sometimes feel unworthy of good things. That's for some of you, not all of you. That is a very heavy message, but I do feel called to mention it. Maybe it's like you've dealt with so much that you're just like so shocked that something amazing has happened to you and you're just like, will this get taken away from me? Or it's like, wow, is this really happening? This is so too good to be true. But let me tell you something, pile 3, it is not too good to be true. It is literally what you deserve. And I feel like with this judgment card, I feel like it'll really kind of send you into a thought process of like, this is so amazing, like, what can I do next, Especially this kangaroo and grasshopper card of like talking about what to plan for next. I feel like the 6 of Wands could be talking about like Christmas and the holidays if you celebrate Christmas, But like this general good vibe, I feel like this judgment card is kind of talking about what's after that. And or kind of what's happening during it, because like I said, it's kind of seeming to tell a story. And I really don't want to sound like I'm kind of like making this up or kind of like trying to stray away from the fact that the judgment card does seem to be kind of a more ominous card, like I mentioned. But I really do feel called to mention that these good things will inspire your healing and your thought process and like your self-improvement and like spiritual awakening just as much as the bad things, because I feel like you need that dynamic and I feel like you need that kind of like hot and cold vibe of like bad and good in your life to kind of inspire and provide a lot of context. And basically I feel like the good things will inspire you to be like, this is what I deserve, like, this is why I worked so hard, this is it, And I feel like with the judgment card, I also think that, when I think of the word judgment, like not in the context of tarot, I think of gavels, like judging and, being the like, what is that word? Criticist? Being the person who is judging or criticizing, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of the vibe here, because I feel like you'll be more in control and I feel like you'll be in your highest power or higher power and you'll be more discernful, pile 3. Like, this is your Joker era, basically, is what I'm trying to say here, is that you finally will not be tolerating anything more. Like, you will not deal with anything that is irrelevant to your growth and like your journey as a person. And I will say that obviously this could be intertwined or somehow dealing with this fair man card. I was just looking at it, but maybe there was like a man in your life, depending on how they treated you. Obviously it doesn't have to be man, it could be just a masculine energy. But I really do feel like pile 3, if there has been a masculine energy in your life that made you feel like you weren't good enough, or that like maybe they inspired this tough time for you, it's like, first of all, not every masculine energy is like that. Masculinity should never make you feel belittled, undermined, or hurt, That's not what that is, That's not what masculinity should be, and it's not what it is at all. And, if some of you have like issues with your father or anything, just know that your relationship with him will not dictate your relationships with other men. Like, you don't have to let it. Like, that is not, like, don't take it, I don't know how to explain it, That doesn't define you. That will not define your relationship with men, period. And that's a very specific message, but I felt really called to mention it. And I just want to say that pile 3, like, just know that these good things are a result of the hard work you've put in. And just know that, like, you will get a lot of excitement. Like, you will be rejuvenated in this era. I feel like this resting period that's kind of coming I feel like this resting period is coming towards you very quickly, and I think that resting period is going to be time of people you love and like events and hangouts. And then you'll kind of finally have the energy to kind of like tackle your life again with much more vigor and a lot more inspiration. And I feel like that's going to do so much good for you, because I feel like you are a very goal-oriented person. You're probably very like farsighted in terms of goals, in the sense that like you have a lot of plans, and you'll finally have the energy and capacity to kind of like work them through, execute them, or kind of like anticipate them and kind of, you know, plan for them. But just know that like that this masculine energy, like, actually, period, be discernful of your energy. Like I said, pile 3, I think that if you're gonna take anything from this reading, it's this flag card. Don't lower your standards, okay? Because don't let anything invalidate this victory for you, period, pile 3. And like I said, this victory could come in the form of anything, but I do feel like it comes in the form of like time with people you care about, and a lot of good things, in the sense of like going to nice places, being around people you care about, you know, being supported, being loved, and planning for things that you want to plan for, and being excited for your future. I feel like a lot of inspiration, a lot of motivation will kind of come back to you, pile 3, and that alone is very exciting. So yeah, pile 3. That is what I have for you. I hope that resonated. If it did, please tell me down below, because I do feel like your reading was a lot more intricate. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, pile 3. I love you. Like, comment, and subscribe. Especially comment, because I love talking to you guys. So yeah. Before I say thank you so much for watching, I love you, I'm going to just end it here. Like, I'm going to say that too much, so bye.